Okay, man. Welcome back to my OnlyFans, the person that's gonna put you on supply and demand. You already know what time it is. We about to talk about pips. We about to talk about currency pairs. We about to talk about structure of the market. But what I basically want to focus on is key levels, guys. Right now, I want to teach you guys key levels, right? So I want to teach you guys key levels, how I structure my trades to where I'm profitable, right? So I'm about to share my screen right now. I'm gonna share the screen. We're gonna pull up a chart, right? We're gonna try to pull up a pair that we really not working with for real, because I do not want to clear off my my I do not want to clear off my screen and stuff like that. Everything that I already, all my hard work I already built up. So right now we on USD CAD, right? And I'm about to start y'all from the nitty gritty, man. I'm gonna start y'all boys from the nitty gritty. Hold on, man. Let me clear off. Let me remove all drawings, right? So let's not get nothing twisted. We're gonna move off all the drawings so we can come over here and really figure out, what levels we need to mark up. Um, what levels we need to mark up. That's key levels, right? In this in this market right here, right? So we on a monthly time frame right now. This is what I do, man. This is how I get my monthly resistant and support key levels, right? Which is psychological bank levels, right? Basically levels that the bank like to trade at, right? We want to trade at them too, because we only retail traders, right? We only retail traders, and we can't move the market, right? So let's get to it. So right now we looking for areas where the market hit, and where the market hit, and price was supported, and price was at a resistance at this time as well, right? So support and resistance. Okay, let's get that down pat, right? So support is usually always found under price, right? So support is always under price, right? So if price is up here, right, support would be down here, right? And resistance is always at the top of price. So it's always going to be on the top of a price, right? So if price was, price is down here, and then line was here, then this would be resistance, right? Okay, so that is support and resistance. Support is more like your floor, it's under price, and resistance is more like your roof, which is on top of price. And all that will make sense in a minute after I show you guys. So support, right? Resistance, right? Okay, so basically simple like that. And we want to find key levels, right? We want to find key levels that the banks are trading at, and that makes sense. So right here, me personally, I usually don't count the wicks. As you see, this wick was almost like a double top or tweezers. So we respect the tweezers, but me, I like to get where price open and closed at, right? So price closed around here. And that shows you right here where you see a flat top at, or a flat part right here. That's where price closed at. This is where price went, but this is where price closed at, where the candle ends at, okay? And vice versa. When you see a downwards candle, price closed under, right? So price closed here, right? In the body in the candle, right? So that's pretty much how we're gonna do that. And then this level basically is this 1.4 thousand level, because banks like to trade at key levels, at levels that make sense. They don't like to keep the change. So basically, when you see these numbers over here, these are representation of dollars, right? You can say, all right, this is a dollar, price is at $1.40, right? Or, $1.40, right? $1.45, $1.50, $1.25. This is what, the US dollar is worth to the Canadian dollar, okay? So it's simple, guys, simple. So at this 1.40 cent right here, this is where we want to mark this key level at. And like I said, I'll get into videos deeper and deeper as we go. But this is the basics, guys. The basics. This is what I do, man. Every time that I get on the chart. So this 1.30 cent right here, it looked like a good level, right? And then let me show you why, right? So this 1.3 thousand, because I don't want to leave nothing out, man. I know I'll be talking too fast. My wife she get on me about it all the time, and I just get to running through stuff, and I'm not really explaining it. So basically, price was right here, right, was holding support, right? I mean resistance. Price was holding resistance because this is a top, right? We got these heavy wicks right here. right? And then we got price to push down, right? Once price pushed down, it pushed down to this 1.30 cent area, right? And then this area right here became a support, right? Right. So it became a support. So when price got here, it became a support. Price pushed back up, right? And then what happened was price found resistance right here, which is the EMA, which we'll get into that later. We're not going to get into that right now. Found resistance, pushed back down to support, and then breaks through support, guys. So it was supported here and it was resistance here, right? So it came right here and then price tried to shoot back up, but then it hits this resistance zone, which is 1.30, which was once support, and then pushes back down to the downside, guys. So if you look at that area, then you're going to see that the same 1.3 area being support, same 1.3 area being resistance, right? Price tried to push through, push back down. All right, so same as here, it was support right here, and then it was resistance, right? Price pushed back down, try to push back up, hit this resistance zone, push back down. Same here, supported, became support, and then was resistance at some point, right? So resistance here, break through resistance, becomes support. Okay, so that's all the way through. So this 1.40 and then this 1.30 is a good level that we all can agree upon. Even the banks like it, obviously, right? So then now our next level we need to find is this. We already understand now. We have a good understanding that price is moving within these numbers because it's all making sense, right? So there's 1.20 cent right here, right? It's 1.20 thousand is where price is right now as we speak, guys. And on top of that, you know, we just now crossing our EMA. So we were in an uptrend for a while because of this red line right here. This is our 200 EMA. But I don't want to get into any of that right now. We're just looking at pure market structure. So if you see, we can look down at the bottom, April 20th. So April 1st, right? So since April 1st, as you see, from $1.40, price dropped all the way to $1.20, guys. By this being months, this is every month. So April, May, June, just 2020, July, August, right? September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, all the way right into now, right? So from May to May, from April to May, from April of last year to May, price dropped, right? From $1.40 all the way to $1.20, right? By us knowing this, we would have been looking for nothing but sales, guys. Nothing but sales. And if we would have held this since from last year, you know, even though like who could predict that, but obviously it showed no indication of breaking through the 14 EMA. So obviously we had a chance to continue in the downtrend. But you know, we take that one day at a time, guys, one day at a time, right? We can get good like this soon, but you know, one day at a time, right? So like I said, we back down to this 120 level, and then boom, that's it for the monthly, right? Now we can come here and we can look for different type of patterns and stuff like that, but like I just said, that's for a different video, right? So boom, we go down to the monthly, and then now we go down to the weekly, right? And as you see, pretty much we don't need to really change anything because every level, as you see how it's hitting, right? Price hitting this this $1.40, boom, shoots all the way down to this $1.30, boom, shoots all the way down to this $1.20. So now, as of now, we know price moves, you know, between like 1,000 some pips, right? So 1,000 pips there. And here you go, the same 1,000 pips here, right? So we know price moving through 1,000 pips in a monthly and a weekly, right? We understand all that, but we want to be able to make zones that's small enough for us to trade within the days, right? So then now we can break down and we can go down and make you know, smaller zones, right? So now we got our strongly monthly and weekly zones in. We can definitely, you know, keep dropping down, right? So now we can go see what the daily is doing, right? So we go see what the daily is doing. We see little momentum. We see small momentum around a reversal area. So we got this trend to the downside, which haven't quite touched this 1.20 level yet. So we know price gonna want to try to touch this. So we're probably trying to look for this break to the downside. Plus we got our EMAs telling us, hey, you know what? Price is not coming up here. It's still pushing down, right? So we're looking at this 1.20 level, you know, as for a take profit. So we at 2,600 right now. So we're looking for at least 600 pips to drop down to this level right here, guys. And that's just simple, man. So that's on the daily. And like I said, we see small momentum. So we already see what's going on the daily, right? So then we can drop down to this 4 hour. And we see we like in a downtrend, right? In this 4 hour, right? So now we're in this 4 hour time frame, and we see, hey, boom, okay, price is a little bit above this EMA right here, but we seeing like, okay, price is like double topping at this area right here because it's closing and open and close around at the same area, and we got this push to the downside. But we're really, really low on our stochastics. But like I said, hey, that's another video. Now what we want to do is we want to identify, you know, where we at in the market. What is the market doing? So we know at our lowest point right here, on this stochastic level, you see that we were oversold, right? And at this lower level, price kind of like bounced off and started going back up. Well, this is a support area, right? So now we can get our smaller boxes in to where, hey, we don't need lines now. Now we know we have a go-to area. We had this support area, right, which is a buy area. So every time price gets back to this area, as you see, price shot up. And then as soon as it got back to this area, price shot back up. And then as soon as price got back to this area, price shot back up, right? But we do see that it is a weak push up to the upside, guys. So we see that as a weak push up to the upside right now. At this point, we need to break this last high right here to be able to see if price is fin to reverse and go into this upwards trend, guys. If price failed to make a higher high, then we're going to go down to this 20,000 level. And like I said, hey, that's another day, another dollar, right? We're just focusing on how to level up our areas so that we can know where price is and what is the next move for us, right? So like I said, we know, hey, right here we see price on the stochastic as well, in like a slight trend to the upside, right? So at the end of the day, we can draw this same type of trend line, right? And it's just drawing trends, and it's the same thing because right now all we're trying to do is find support and resistance levels, right? All we're trying to do is find support and resistance levels so that our next trade can make sense, guys. And this is, like I said, this is what's going to help your trade now 1,000 by 1,000, right? Knowing where you at in the market, knowing these numbers over here, and represent these numbers as like, okay, you know, hey, this is a price, but where's price trying to get to? And you know, we rounding off, we doing some old high school math, right? So we in the 2,600s, we looking for a round off, then we're gonna say, okay, maybe price gonna get to this 2,100 level, right? If we were lower than that and we was like in the 500s and the 400s, you can say, hey, maybe this price gonna round off to this $1.20 level, right? Just doing those basic simple things that, you know, that make sense to where, you know, it's sensible of the market to where, you know, hey, other people that's in the market trading probably thinking the same thing, right? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to figure out what side to be on. Be on the seller side or the buyer side. We want to be on the right side. So when the price make or do its breakout, then we'll be on the right side and we'll know what's the next move, guys. So, you know, all this type of stuff is basically drawing on support and resistance, right? So when you draw patterns and things of that nature, you're basically drawing support and resistance, guys. That's it. So so this is a sideways resistance and this is sideways support, right? So therefore we have patterns, right? So like I said, that's another video for you guys. And I don't really want to get into that right now. So we want to find another level. We want to find a higher level, right? Where price came and it had problems at. We want to look at historical data to understand that, okay, where was a nice top at, so that we know, hey, if price gets to this level, this could be a resistance zone. If not, if this is a bullish pennant, then maybe price can push up to this zone right here and we can take this trade for this zone for however many pips this is, if it makes sense, right? Okay, so by that being said, hey, you go to settings, you can go to templates, you can go to save as, and you can make these type of sell zones and buy zones. So right here, this is a sell zone, which I will turn it red. So I have my buy zone right now, which is near my 120, which is a psychological key level. And then I also have a sell zone, which is up here by this 22,000 level, which price could break from this 2,600 all the way up to this 22,000 level. And then, okay, boom, I can see, okay, how many pips could I make off that if I was to enter this trade off the break? And that would be 106 pips, right? If I can enter this trade off the break of this pennant, right? And then I hit all the way up to here to my last high, or either up to here to my zone, and then I put my take profit here. So entry here when it breaks here, and then I put my take profit here. As price shoot up, then therefore, boom. Now I can make myself profitable, and then I can see how many pips I want to do. I can see how I want to eat off this, guys. I can make my risk to reward out. Hey, I can put my stops maybe below here, and then I can just wait for this to ride this bad baby up, right? So now I had this area, right? I had this area, and I have all this stuff filled out to where, okay, now I can go in and look at my entry area. So this is the 4 hour. Now I'm finna drop all the way down to the 15. And like I said, you can always come to the hour and look, boom, come to the hourly and look, see what's going on, boom. All right. See that price already pushed up on the hourly. So we really, banking off the 4 hour to push in to make, to make this play, actually, able to exist, right? So, 4 hour, 1 hour, then you can scale down. It depends on where you want your entry at, 30 minutes, and then you can scale down to the 15 minute. Me personally, I like the 15-minute, even though it's noisy. Even though it's noisy, guys, it gives me more confirmation because I like to look at the candles, right? I like to see what type of candles is forming at certain levels so that I'll know, hey, is this, a smart move or not? Hey man, my price might push up to here, and it might push up to here, crack out of here a little bit, and then come back down to the downside, right? So, I like to zoom in closer just so I can get, look at the noise so that I can see what's happening, so that I can try to pick my next move and make it my best move, guys. And then so now I had these areas, right? And I had these areas that's already filled out for the 4 hour block, right? You see how they kind of far away. Now, how do I start making trades based off right now as what price is doing right now? And say, hey, I do want to place this trade inside the 15-minute time frame. Well, you wait for points, man. You wait for points and factors, right? You wait for price to actually get to an area where you can actually say, okay, boom, this is resistance, right? Or you wait for price to get to a certain area where you can say, boom, okay, this is support, right? And then we make trades. If we base trades off support and resistance, then we'll make a lot more money than trying to place trades in the middle of nowhere, right? So you see how this trade is? We're in the middle of nowhere. We don't know if this is a for sure resistance yet, or we definitely don't know if it's or it's going to be a support area, right? So if price push up through here, come back here and come back to this point, and it can't break this point again, then this area can become a support area, right? Which is now a resistance. So we want to know that for sure. So we want to wait, and then we want to be able to build around what we have going now, guys. So right here, we see at our lowest point right here, we had price. So now we can make a smaller level, right? Because we know for a fact when price was here, it was oversold, and then this was our lowest point, and then price turned around with this engulfing, right? So pushing price up, and then price already crossed our blue moving average. So we are already looking for price to go up because price is above our moving averages, right? So now we can turn this rectangle back to our buy zone, right? And this is, like I said, this is a smaller buy zone. We had a buy zone down here, which is right here. And then price kept making higher lows. So we had a higher low, and we had a newer buy zone in the 15-minute. Now we'd be able to break down trades to be able to make money off of this ranging area right here in the 15-minute, especially if we trade off the 15-minute. So now we find the highest point that it was at on the top for resistance. And then we draw another little box right here, and we see like, okay, we could go all the way back here to here to here, but this was all the way on the 21st. We can go back a couple of days, we can go back a month if we want to, and we can see that problems was at this area, right? So I'm gonna do that right now. All right, where price is right now and where price was at, and that was a roof at, we already had problems here. It was resistance here, support here, it was supported here, right? Which drove price up, supported here, drove price up, resistance here, right? Resistance and support, right, guys? So that's what we're looking for, areas just like that. It's just like how we did in the monthly, but just on a smaller time frame, to where, okay, we in control of this area right now, so that we know, hey, how can we make profits off this area, uh, um, you know, in this smaller time frame, right? Because we know where we can make profits at in the 4 hour, but we got to wait for that to activate. But how do we make money now while price is consistently moving? So then we come here, and then we can go to styles, and then we can go to templates, and then we can put 8 sales on, right? Which is going to turn the box red, guys. So from our stochastics, we see that we were at a top. Right here, we see that we were at a top as well, right? And then we see price pushed up a little bit higher right here, following our trend line, right? And then after price got to this point, we seen a blue crossover, and price came all the way down, right? So we could have chose this as a resistance, but as we see that this is not a true resistance, right? So price was all the way at the top. What did price do? Come down a little bit and then shoot back up even more, right? So you see this little dip right here, and then you see price shoot back up. So now this is a confirmed, um, resistance now at this point, and we have a confirmed support, right? And so this is how we can cater to our, what's going on, right? So if we see price failing to get back up to this resistance level, then we know price is going to come back down, back maybe to this level, so we can take these trades. And if price do not break through here, and then price do decide to go back down, we can try to look for, these 34 pips, right? 30, 40, 50 pips, right? All the way to back down to the downside, okay? If price do want to actually push up, then that's when we'll see, and we'll wait. We'll see price push through here, pull back, and then we'll get in for the buy, okay? Or we'll see price push through here, pull back, and then we'll get in for the buy, guys. Simple as that. And that is really how you trade. You take your trading to the next level, just by simple things like that, man. And patterns and things like of that nature. And as you see, the same cross we've seen on the 4 hour, we see it right here on our 15 hour. So that's how you can understand that everything relates and moves to each other, right? So we have the same texture right here growing up, right here growing up. So we can have this push up to the upside, or we can have this push down to the downside. We need to see a few levels crack before we decide to get in for any type of trades. We need to make sure that this is a true solid resistance, and that this is going to be a resistance points to keep pushing price down, or is it going to break here and keep pushing up, guys? And that's great. Like I just said, that's the simple way to trade. And that is it for this video, man. I taught you guys market structure. I taught you guys key levels. And I basically showed you guys dang near how to enter every level, right? So you do not need a million indicators. That will come. And then, like I said, I'll explain all those breakdowns inside of the Telegram. Right now, this is free knowledge that I'm giving out to you guys right here on OnlyFans, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. SMS FX Ken, man. You already know I'm dropping knowledge, dropping bangers, dropping heat for you guys to be profitable into these markets, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Let's get it, gang.